Welcome to MASH on This, Mashable's daily culture and entertainment show that gives you tomorrow's biggest news stories today. I have fancy overalls. I'm your host, a David Ono that was dumped in the Everglades, also known as Dory Greenberg. On MASH on This, we give you a 5 in 5-ish rundown of what we think is the best the internet has to offer. That's sort of 5 stories in probably 5 minutes or more, but don't hold us to it. Be sure to tell us what you think in the comments and we'll get to them at the end of the show. Let's get 5 minutes on the clock. Ready, set, and go. President Trump seems to like his ties the way he likes his Pinocchio nose, which is long. And if you are also weirdly fascinated by the length of the Donald's ties, then there is a pretty great parody Twitter account that you should start following. It's called @TrumpsTies, and it is giving us a major case of the lols. Here is Trump's tie in a bowl whilst eating with Mitt Romney. He's surprised too. Here is Trump's tie tucked into Chris Christie's jacket. Oh, so silly. Here is Kanye West standing on Trump's tie. And this next one is my favorite because it is resident vampire Rudy Giuliani holding onto Trump's tie like a good little minion. But we want to know, which one is your favorite? Holler in the comments. And speaking of our grumpy old president, last night The Daily Show announced the winner of Third Month Mania, which is the show's tournament that had fans voting for President Trump's most outlandish tweets. Check it out.
Anyway, Hassan, give me the envelope. Okay. It's time to talk about the tweet.
Here it is.
Yeah.
That's right, boy. We started with 64 of Trump's most Trumpy tweets. And over the past 3 weeks, over 6 million votes were cast.
And the winner for Third Month Mania,
the greatest Trump tweet of all time, as chosen by the viewers, is...
Are you allowed to impeach a president for gross incompetence? Oh, we did it! It did it, Hassan! Amazing! Wow! Nobody thought he could do it!
Nobody! We did it! We did it! Started from the bottom, now it's here! It may not be the meanest or the most racist,
but it is the one tweet we will get the answer to in the next 4 years.
Yes.
What a wonderful tournament, bro.
Yay! If you're curious about the runner-ups, they were, how is ABC television allowed to have a show entitled Blackish? Can you imagine the fear of a show Whitish? No, because it's called Frasier. And the other one, which is, so let's get this right, Steve Jobs dies and leaves with everything to the boyfriend, parentheses, lover. Oh, Steve, what a ding-dong. It must have been hard to narrow down this selection because everything this man says is so damn laughable. It's only been 2 days since we were introduced to the Pepsi ad that collectively made America angry laugh, which sounds like, why? Despite its relatively short life, the jokes surrounding the viral video have already spilled over into real life. Yesterday, a former Boston Herald reporter and current Portland resident named Carlos Enrique decided to crash the local city council meeting. And instead of talking about the ordinance that was on the docket, he decided to ramble on about the hostile language that he believes is used in these kinds of meetings. When Portland's mayor, Ted Wheeler, tried to interrupt, this happened.
My name is Carlos Enrique. I'm a former journalist for the Boston Herald, so I've covered City Council quite extensively. I've just recently moved here, and I have to say I'm very surprised at how there's so many people that show up to City Council and just kind of get angry at you and yell at you and stuff like that. And I'm sure that has happened before in the past when I've covered City Council, but not nearly as frequently as it has here. And it made me kind of wonder, how could someone just endure people coming and berating you every week, and everyone gets mad, and you say, I'm signing the ordinance anyway. And what I realized,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but this has to be germane to
the language
the
of resistance has not been properly translated to you. So this is for you.
Whoa. Not a good move. Not a good move. Thank you. Don't do that again. Okay? Not a smart move.
Not a smart move.
Thank you. I do appreciate it, but don't do that again. Yeah, don't, please, folks, do not do that. For your own safety, don't do that, okay? I appreciate it. Welcome to Portland. Yeah, if this were the Boston City Council, that would have ended differently.
Cool, super awkward. But Mayor Wheeler is right. This would have ended very differently in Boston, specifically because there would have been a whole buttload of profanity, and Carlos probably wouldn't have been able to physically walk out of the building afterward. What do you think about this guy's somewhat half-assed attempt to use a topical joke with the mayor? Let us know in the comments. You know that feeling that you sometimes have when you feel like the universe is just like sucking you in? That may or may not be because of black holes, which astronomers theorize exist in nearly every galaxy, including our own, where they're just gobbling down any nearby gas and dust and often ripping stars to shreds. Sounds like something we should be keeping an eye on, which is why there's a new plan in the works to construct a planet-sized telescope to potentially view a black hole for the first time. By planet-sized telescope, we mean a composite telescope that collects observations from 8 different telescopes scattered across the world. So from April 5th to the 14th, these 8 observatories will be pointed toward the massive black hole that hides in Milky Way's center. Weather permitting, astronomers will collect data at a scale never attempted before in physics. And this is really awesome and kind of complicated. So make sure to read Maria Gallucci's article about it on Mashable.com for the full breakdown. All right, this next one is for you gamers out there, especially the old school ones. After 30 years, Nintendo has finally fixed a typo in The Legend of Zelda. If you don't already know the typo I'm referring to, let's see if you can spot it. So on the left is the original Zelda, and on the right is the updated Zelda. And if you're saying to yourself right now, obviously Peninsula is spelled wrong, then congratulations, you get a gold star. The letter N sneaked into the English translation of the fantasy video game in 1987, when the hint man in level 1 talks about an eastmost peninsula. An author named Clyde Mandolin pointed out the correction after the release of miniature versions of the Famicom and NES Classic Edition. So, if you consider yourself both a Zelda fan and a spelling nerd, then we hope your life is now better because of this. Okay, so this next story cannot stop making me laugh because it seems like maybe the best April Fool's joke that nobody thought of. And unfortunately, for all of us, it is not a joke. Michael Bay, the director behind all your movie-induced migraines, has not 1, not 2, but 14 more Transformers films that exist in story form. He let that little factoid slide while talking with MTV's Josh Horowitz, and if you too are in disbelief, hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
Can you hint at any of the other spin-offs we're going to see?
Not right now. There are 14 stories written. So, and there was some
work
good
to be
stuff.
done.
And there was good stuff. So, I would like to do one of them, though.
Oh, mother of God. If you are not a die-hard Michael Bay or Transformers fan, this sounds downright terrifying. But I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting. And that's why we have Mashable's entertainment reporter, Proma Khosla, here to help us work through this. Get over here, Proma. Ooh, how are you?
I'm great.
You tripped into the universe.
Yeah, I'm a little stressed also about the Transformers thing.
And understandably so, but maybe. I don't know. So, like, what do you make of this little insane comment from Michael Bay?
Well, it's a sad day, for sure. It's just, well, the important thing to remember is that he said stories, right? He said that there are 14 Transformers stories. So that could be a rough screenplay, or it could just be like an idea on a napkin after too many drinks, which is what a lot of my story ideas are. So we'll see. We'll see if they come to fruition, but hopefully they don't all do that. Because think about it, if we get a new Transformers movie every 2 years for the next 28 years, like we'll all be of retirement age or dead, maybe some people. by the time they come out. We will have invented real Transformers by the time these movies will come out. I don't want this.
No, no one does. No one does want this. Also, so in your article, you mentioned that there's another trilogy's worth of Fast and Furious movies, not 2, but 4 Fantastic Beasts movies, and an ongoing myth of James Cameron's Avatar sequels. That's like he's threatening them with us. So what do you make of all of these like action franchise sequels, and when will they stop?
Well, they're probably never going to stop because they make loads of money for these studios. Money that they can use to finance smaller creative indie projects, but like usually don't, and then just like keep pumping into the franchise machine. So they're not going to stop realistically. It's just hard to stay relevant. Like I told you earlier, I stopped caring about Avatar after the movie ended.
Right.
But we're still going to get a sequel at this point. It'll be at like 10 years before we get the second one, and they're just going to keep coming out, just beating the dead horse.
I'm like exhausted thinking about it.
I made myself sad.
We just brought the whole room down. I mean, let's just pray that this won't happen, but I'm sure if it does, we will look to you for the full scoop, right?
Yeah, I'll have lots of snarky comments on Mashable.com.
Yes, be sure to read all of Promo stuff on Mashable. It is fantastic, and thank you so much for stopping by today.
It was my pleasure.
I wish it was on better circumstances.
Yes, my regret, actually.
Yeah. Promo Khosla, everyone. Fantastic human. And we have a bonus story for you today. It is kind of more of a plug than anything else because it's just so silly we had to share it. There's a brand new app out there called Memoji that turns your face into an emoji, and here are some examples using my own mug. This is my I am laughing so hard that I'm crying emoji. Very frightening. And then there's also the I'm gonna blow, which I kind of wish like actual vomit would come out, but I know that's not the emoji. And then of course there's this, which is me in my truest form. So, since it's so new, there are only a couple options to choose from, but we hope to see more in the future. So Memoji, get to it.